And hi,
Mm.
Kira.
Welcome, everyone, to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Allie Hutchinson. I'm a staff minister at OCSL. My pronouns are she and they, and I will be your host tonight for our Wednesday night Oasis service. Oasis is a place where we come together as a community to be spiritually refreshed midweek. Most Wednesday nights, we build on the theme that we discussed in the previous Sunday, sharing Science of Mind's principles and practices with the intention that these gatherings be informal and intimate and interactive. Our annual theme for 2025 is Rising Higher, Growing Deeper, and our monthly theme for January is Stretching into Infinite Possibilities. Last Sunday, Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle Coleman introduced the ideas inspired by this week's theme, Making Space for It. And tonight, our speaker will continue on the exploration of this same topic in her own way. Newcomers, if you're new to our community or watching our recording, please visit our website at oaklandcsl.org. Click on the I'm New icon and look at the lower left-hand corner of that page where you can submit your email address. And once you do that, you'll begin to receive our weekly newsletter, the Village News. It has all the information about what's happening at our center. Before we get started with the talk, please mute your microphone. That helps us to improve the quality of our transmission and the quality of our recording. And you can leave your cameras on if you like. And please stay tuned through the end of the service to hear several important announcements. Our speaker tonight, we're very happy to have Jessica Kreiss, a religious science practitioner from Santa Cruz. Jessica has been a licensed spiritual practitioner since 2015. And as I said, she currently resides in Santa Cruz, California. When she's not working with clients doing her custom 8-week program on self-love and integrating the shadow, she's working with clients with disabilities or caregiving. Jessica lives a life of service and flows with where she is led, passionate about assisting others and integrating the darkness in order to be a place of power, and also birthing purpose within people's lives. So thank you in advance for being our speaker tonight. But first, we always start with prayer. And actually, Jessica has volunteered to do our opening prayer. So I'll turn it over to you now.
Thank you. So let's just take a moment to let our bodies sink into this space. Letting your eyes close, just relaxing into this now. Letting the day just fall away. As we take this moment, we tap into that space of infinite potential and possibility. The place of oneness, the connection, the community, the vastness of love that is always expanding, always flowing, always here for us. That same space of silence that connects us back to ourself, that home within ourselves, that place of union where there is no separation, the peace, the love, the joy, all of it was already yours. It was already within you in this very breath, in this now. And as you tap into that space, there is a great I am that says, you are already that. I am that. You are that. In that great I am, there is an I am of love, an I am of joy, an I am of peace. That anything that you are already seeking is already seeking you too. So as you relax into this breath, as you allow yourself to be seen, held, and witnessed, we lift up anything in this very present moment that you are holding or is weighing on your heart, and we lift it up into this sacred ceremony that says, I see you. I believe in you. That we call upon all of our ancestors, guardians, guides, those that walk with us to be with us in this now. in this very breath, to help, to be here. That we say yes to this breath. We say yes to life, to the darkness and the light. Knowing that as they dance together, they support each other, that the darkness is a path to our evolution, and the light gets to be an expression of that evolution. There is no separation. So as we allow that space and open into this service, I know that each beloved here said yes for a purpose, for themselves. So I honor that. I honor that yes. And in so much gratitude, so much joy, so much love, I say thank you for being here. Thank you for now being a part of my life, whether you were before or are now. I do not take that lightly. That you are here, you are breathing on purpose. And just because you breathe this very breath, that is a reminder that you are a miracle. So incredibly on purpose. And so it is. So we just take a moment now to maybe get set up if you want to be back on camera, whatever feels supportive. And I'm just gonna put my video back on because it seemed to have went away. I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for taking the time to be in this space where we get to come together. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to come together as a community. I feel that so much of what we move through in this life is this disconnect, that we are separate, that we are not connected. And the importance for me of community is coming back to unity, to connecting back to ourselves and each other. So I really feel the power and the presence of the community that has said yes to coming here tonight. And I feel so incredibly grateful. So when I heard the topic about making space for it, I can't do anything but be present for my last 2 years and where I am today. And so tonight, I want to honor that I had the hardest 2 years of my life in every way possible. I went on a journey of self-discovery in so many different ways, and making space for it was actually one of the biggest challenges, was to actually make space for joy and for love. About 2 years ago, my dear love was hit by a tram in Germany, and she lost all of her abilities to speak and to use her body. It took us about 6 months to get her from Germany back to California. In that time, my first thought, to be honest, was if anybody could get through this, it would be her. The reality was it was going to look a little bit different than I thought. But right when she got back, I went to visit her, and my entire life changed. I put all of my projects on hold. Everything that I was working on was put to the side, and I became her caregiver. I will say that nothing tested me more than being 72 hours into a shift and not having any sleep and trying to keep my friend alive. It was incredibly hard and challenging on my heart. However, I knew that at some point I was going to have to change the story. but I wasn't ready yet. As we progressed on the journey of caregiving and I changed my whole life to be her caregiver, I did have an opportunity to deepen in myself. Although I wasn't going out, I wasn't seeing friends, I wasn't doing things like I was before, I knew with everything in me that I was exactly where I was supposed to be. She was one of my favorite people in this world in every way possible. And I really honor that. So there was no other question that I was going to be doing this work to support her. So as I walked that path of being her caregiver, I began looking at the spaces and places within me that needed to be honored and healed in the process. I was exhausted most of the time, but I recognized that I was choosing it. And if I was going to choose this path, I had to choose it with my full heart. Whether anyone on the outside understood it or not, I was working about 240 hours a week. I'll never forget when my friend was like, "Are there even that many hours in a week?" And the reality is, there is. I learned that very quickly. And it wasn't actually grief that I had to make space for in this space of infinite possibility. I actually had to learn and relearn how to make space for love and for joy. I had to actually make space for me and learn how to do that again. So, in this time of being her caregiver, she ended up passing away on May 15th. So, I bring us to this last year of May 15th. So, I was her caregiver for a year and a half. And she passed away with me actually at 11/11, which is really her and very special. And when she passed away, those months after were incredibly harrowing for me. And I want to take a moment to honor a caregiver's caregiver. My partner is actually on this call, and his name is Timothy. And the day before Olivia died, his best friend had passed away also unexpectedly. And so many people are like, "Oh, that's so great. You two get to grieve together." But the reality is we're both such giving people that when you're grieving somebody different than the other person, you never want to put that weight on them. So in some ways, it was actually incredibly challenging. And then after that, he got in an accident where he almost died. And I'm super grateful that he didn't. And in that exact month, my mom was also diagnosed with cancer. And I was taking care of Olivia's mother, who was dying of cancer. So, all of these things to say, I couldn't even heal. I was still in this role after she died, even though my body was still in fight or flight going through PTSD. I had no room for any type of healing yet. I had no room for myself in any way to actually move forward. But this person, Timothy, thank you so much, was able to be my caregiver through all of this also. I think in so many ways we took care of each other, but I had to make space for it. I was so brokenhearted from my grief that I was keeping love at a distance. My friends at a distance, asking for support, all of these things. It's like I almost had to relearn how to ask for support, how to let myself be loved, how to say I need you. I didn't know how. I had no awareness and fully how to do that. So for me, keeping love at an arm's length away was keeping me safe, right? In my mind, it was keeping me safe. When in reality, it was answered prayer. It was what I needed, what I deserved in that moment was to be held and to be seen. But it was so scary to be held and to be seen because my darkness felt darker than anything I had ever felt before. When Olivia died, I had put her as my purpose, so I felt purposeless when she died. I hadn't looked at any of my projects in 2 years, so all of that was just so out the window that I felt confused. I felt like I didn't know who I was or who I wanted to be anymore. Everything about that felt scary. and felt really, really scary. So I give gratitude for the space that there was something inside of me that knew that saying yes to love and support in my life was the right thing. Admitting that I was hurting, asking for help, getting support, right? Those were all things that really tested me in the lowest moments, right? When all of these things were happening at once, when the chaos was just all around me and the pain was so deep and I was so exhausted. I was healing PTSD, which I had never had in my life before. And so my body was actually learning how to reintegrate and to come back to itself. So as I began healing the traumas and the horrors, I recognized that everything was a reflection of my view. And what I mean by that is, at what point am I going to look back on these 2 years and create a different story? At what point am I going to look back on my life and not be the victim of this situation? At what point do I start sharing a new story to really honor my time with Olivia and being her caregiver? At what point do I change my narrative that taps into a bigger space, a wider space, a different view? Right? I don't think I can make room for infinite possibilities if I don't honor the darkness and the light. The darkness is a space of our evolution. It is how we grow. It is how we expand. The light gets to be an expression of that growth. And here I am now in this place where now I'm grieving without PTSD and trauma. And I'm just so thankful for that. It feels so incredibly beautiful, because to be heartbroken and defeated, I realized that looking at this situation in a new way was my answer. Creating a new story for myself was the answer. So now when I look back and I see that I had a partner that, no matter how many times I tried to keep it at an arm's length, was right there taking care of me, was right there the whole time. All of the friends on this call right now that supported me, that were there day in, day out, no matter if I was distant or didn't respond for a while. I can look back now and see the beauty, see the people who were there supporting me throughout every phase of my becoming from this. I said yes to this path. I'm not a victim of it. I said yes. I chose it. I chose it. So, how do I honor the choice? Right? That we have choice in everything. That is the beautiful thing about life. We have choice. I didn't have to say yes, but I did. I chose love. I chose her. And so I think about the beautiful moments now, looking back when I was her caregiver. And yes, she was nonverbal, but she would cry with me. How beautiful is that? She couldn't communicate, but she could cry with me. The first time she held my hand in those 2 years, all the moments and hours of reading and being alone together and just sharing space. There was so much time, so much nurturing, so much love that was present. Right? That's my new story. My new story gets to be the beauty that I experienced being her caregiver, that it helped me become as a person, that it shifted me into a new level, right? I remember asking myself this question all the time. What if I start to look at this in a new lens when I was actually in the caregiving? And so I started asking myself the what if questions. What if this is all working out in my favor? What if this is all happening for a reason? What if there's something so much bigger that is coming out of all of this that I can't see right now? What if? So I take that what if, this is the infinite possibility. I take that what if and I apply it into all the places of my life. What if this is working out in my favor? What if this is actually working out in my favor? So, as I share that story and honor this part of me that sees the integration of the darkness and the light. I know that there is no room for infinite possibility if I don't honor all parts of myself. If I don't take the moment and the time to write a new narrative, to write a new story, and to be conscious about that. That even if I feel like I don't believe in myself, doesn't mean that I can't write a new narrative that does. That I can't offer love to the child within me that might have been hurt. And I can tell her, I believe in you. You might have felt like no one did, but I do. You're not too much. I see you. You are enough and you are worthy. So this is about rewriting the narrative. So I looked at this. Olivia had a TBI, so traumatic brain injury. And there's also a turnaround story from this. There's this other story. I'm not sure if any of you have read the book called Limitless, but it's by Jim Quick. I don't see any people's faces. Otherwise, I'd have you raise your hand. But Jim Quick had a brain injury and I'm going to just like summarize some stuff here. He had a brain injury at the age of 5. He was labeled a broken brain. Yep, there you go, Jim Quick. It's KWIK. Was labeled the boy with a broken brain by his teacher when he was 9 years old. That moment of being labeled the boy with the broken brain was about to start a trajectory that in his mind, literally, he always just defaulted, I'm the boy with the broken brain. I have the broken brain. I have trouble learning. I can't learn like other people. I learn slow. I have the broken brain. He did actually get into college, but he was failing. He was failing in college. He was like, I'm the boy with the broken brain. I'm going to give up. I have to quit. And his friend said, you know what? Just come to my parents' house for the weekend before you drop out and just give yourself a little time. So he went to this parent's house. Okay. And this man, the parent was speaking to him and he asked him, why are you in school? And he found himself just breaking down immediately. He started crying and he started sharing his own story, right? And he started talking about how he's the boy with the broken brain. And in that moment, he told him, why are you in school? And he's crying and he's crying, he's crying, he can't answer. So then he asked him 3 questions. And I'm going to read those questions to you because I think it's insanely powerful what happened from this moment. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? And what do you want to share with the world? He took a moment and he wrote his answers down. He wrote all these answers down. And then the man told him, this is the only thing right here. This right here is how far you have to go to get to that point. Your brain. This is your key. Your brain is your key to get to that point. You are only this far away from actualizing your dreams. And he didn't believe him, right? Of course not. So this guy gave him this assignment to basically read a book a week. He had this beautiful library. Gave him many books. It was all about mindset and positivity and all these things. So he started reading or trying. He's a slow learner, remember? So he started getting frustrated that he couldn't read these books. He was trying to do what this man had offered. He had his dreams down on paper. And then he realized it was this quote by Albert Einstein, which I'm sure you have all heard this. The same level that has created the problem won't solve the problem. In that moment, he had that written on a coffee cup. And he realized, I'm not looking at this the right way. So what do I need to do first? I'm going to learn how to learn. So he started reading books about learning and slow. And he started reading about the brain. And he started reading about all of these things, right? And he started learning more and getting better and getting better. And now he is an expert on the brain in speed reading, memory improvement, and accelerated learning. He is an expert. People hire him from all over the world. This is the boy with the broken brain. So I want us to think about those 3 questions. I want you to maybe take a moment in this breath to write down, who do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to share with the world? And remember that you are only this far away from it being actualized. That as we tap into this space of infinite possibility, maybe we need to look at it in a new way. Just like am doing, I'm not going to say did, I am doing that, rewriting my narrative right now. In this breath, coming to you, full disclosure, rewriting my narrative. I am seeing how much love and support was present for me. I am seeing the beauty in getting to be a caregiver for my beloved at end of life. The beauty of having a partner show up for me, even though I was trying to push away love the whole time. The beauty of love, the beauty of saying yes. There was a part of me that was still saying yes. So when we look at those questions, when you sit with those questions, I hope you take time, even maybe in this moment, you're starting to get some of the answers that you can remember. That same quote by Albert Einstein, I'll read it one more time. The same level that created the problem won't fix the problem. So maybe we just need to look at it in a different way. So that is what I wanted to share with you all today. And I just thank you, because I'm actually going to say that all of my notes that I had written flew off during meditation. I don't know where they went. Somewhere over here. So I just had to go from my heart and share what was present for me today. And so I just want to say thank you for that. And want to open a discussion. If there's anything that anyone wants to share in this time about this talk, or anything that's present for you that you just want to share with this group.
So let's invite everyone to, you can turn your cameras on, and if you do want to say something, ask a question, make a comment, you can use the little raised hand icon if that's easy, or if that's hard, just wave at us, and Peter and I will try to help Jesse to see who's wanting to speak next. And Reverend Sunshine has her.
It's raising her hand.
You know, I always have something to say. Listen, and I like to love up on my people. So I just want to, not just, I simply want to give thanks and praise to my beloved Jessica for always being willing to be vulnerable and to be the beautiful teacher that she is, and for synthesizing this to show us how you made space, the beautiful space, through such a difficult, traumatic series of circumstances, and that I feel translate across, right? I mean, those were your circumstances. We all have our own circumstances, and then we all have our own as a people. You know, we have lots of things that we can overcome. And so I would encourage everybody to think in terms of how to do it for yourself and how to do it for us as a people, because this is what the world needs, is for us to come fully and complete, and as a individually and as a community. So thank you, beloved, so much.
Thank you so much. You're with me every step of the way. Super grateful.
Tina,
Hi,
go ahead.
Gina.
I'm coming. Hello. Hi. I just wanted to thank you, Jesse. Thank you for sharing the link. I'm over here in Santa Cruz and I've never been to CSL Oakland. And the message was so powerful. Even though I came on a little late, it was divine time. And I love it. Made me cry, really made me think about it's like we're always learning. We're always even like children, no matter how old we are. And we have that opportunity to make a new choice and be inspired by others' challenges and gifts. And it's such a beautiful thing to hear all that you shared. And in knowing you the little bit I've known you, but also from this time that you've been going through. So just super grateful. And I'm gonna remember this. And yeah, thank you for having her speak today. I don't know how it all came to be, but I'm stoked. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gina. I appreciate you and the work that you do in the world so much. And I think you're so spot on. It's like we're always learning. And I just want to be a community that comes back to unity and where we get to learn and come back together and be honest. Like we're all working on our faults. We're all working on things that aren't feeling good. And community brings us back home to ourselves. And so thank you so much for being that presence.
Yeah. Good.
Thank you.
Kimberly, go ahead.
Getting familiar with what button to push. There's three little things, and I want to be able to maybe hit on all of them. But I think it's so interesting because I didn't know this existed until Jessie posted in her stories. So I had no idea. It's my birthday, and I was like, that's a beautiful way to spend the like evening part of my birthday. I have no idea what's gonna unfold. And earlier today, I literally said, I wonder what Jessie's story is with the beloved. And I see these photos and I see her holding this woman. And I don't know the backstory, I just know glimpses. Yet, even before this call, I literally said, I wonder how I approach asking her about that story. And then you literally just told me and us like the whole story. And it's almost as if I manifested what I wanted from you without pulling from you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people don't want to share their story in a text message and it didn't feel appropriate, yet it was on my heart. And so that's two of the three things. And the third is just, I'm over all the way in Mississippi and I just feel really grateful that I chose this space tonight because what I didn't know about Jessie was that we are 100% aligned when it comes to like sharing love and like looking at the shadow to bring the light forward. And I suffered with addiction for a really long time in my life, and my light is so different from that lens of where I'm at now. And I haven't even known her that long, but her heart was there for me when I recently lost my job and had to figure out what would be my next job. And this perfect stranger reached out and shared her heart, and I didn't even know she was grieving, yet she gave me her love so freely. And I just want to say thank you.
And happy birthday. I'm so grateful you're here and you chose to come and share this space with all of us. Thank you so, so, so much. So incredibly impactful.
Yeah. Reverend Ikea?
Oh, thank you. I have to say, Jesse, there are so many little ways that you speak that are like echoes of years gone by, and so delightful for me to hear that echo. I thank you so much for this beautiful talk. What a challenging time. And so often we turn away from just the thing we need. And I thank you for sharing how that was for you, so that we can all reflect and see and make a different choice, think of it a different way, whatever it is. And you know, there's a painting I have, and I think I gave the original to you. It was the little deer, and I have a print, And every time I look at the print, I think of you. So that keeps that connection alive. And I thank you so much for a very beautiful blessing speech and talk tonight.
Thank you.
I'm complete.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Ikea was my teacher so long ago. I don't even know, maybe like 12 years or something. So
Long time ago. Yeah.
long time. Thank you so much for being such a part of my journey, and I appreciate you so much.
Who else? I'll actually say something, just act as a little bridge.
Brianna was raising her
The
hand.
thing I was really appreciating was the concept that came up was wholeness, because you're talking about not dealing with PTSD, not just as a mental thing, but with your body, and how trauma really, we need to like get into our bodies and let the healing flow through there. But also, even more than that, the way you talked about the beauty that's there right in the middle of the grief, not but right in it. Sort of like it feels like that's the wholeness we're all looking for, to just be able to fully experience what we're experiencing in every moment. So I got goosebumps. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would always joke that, I'm not okay, and that's okay. It's okay and I'm not okay to all my friends. And I hated the question, how are you in grief? I would make them ask me the weather instead. So I could tell them my weather forecast very easy, but the question, there were certain things, it's so informative to these times of darkness, and all of these lessons I learned are still just so integrating inside of me. And grief and love, they're one and the same. That was from Olivia's song she released right before her accident. Grief and praise are one and the same. And basically, she's saying gratitude and grief, they go together. So she was giving me lessons with her songs even before her accident.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing. I
Right.
really appreciate it.
Brianna, go ahead.
Okay. This is very out of my comfort zone to be doing this, but I want to push myself because I'm trying to be show up with love, and I'm really grateful to be here tonight. And just to echo Kimberly, happy birthday. And also, so much of what she said I also relate to in terms of meeting Jesse. I've only known Jesse for a little bit, but I've learned a lot, and everything you said tonight, Jesse, was like resonating with me big time. And I was like, this is exactly how I'm feeling. This is exactly how I'm feeling. And sorry, my dog is all over me, but it just really hit me in the heart. I have chills right now, still. And today I was listening to something that said, kind of going off of what you're talking about, like the darkness, you got to go through the darkness to get to the light. And it said it was about like, what is love? And like full real love is surrender. And with that, you have to be mad almost to surrender so completely to someone else or to whatever it is of love. So it was like in the madness comes the sanity, which I thought was so interesting. And I kind of like was just ruminating over that. And I was like, just everything where I'm at right now is so connected. And I just keep finding it in like little ways like tonight. So thank you very much. And I hope you guys all have a good night.
Thank you, Brianna.
Brianna, I'm so grateful that you came tonight, and I know it's outside of your comfort zone to be on camera and to be speaking, so giving you a little clap there. And thank you for seeing me, and I see you too, so I appreciate you.
Right. Robert, go ahead.
Hi. So Jesse, I really appreciate the honesty and the vulnerability that you presented with that story. This is Firefly, right?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people who knew Firefly, although I really didn't know her myself. But I just know, the impact that she had on people's lives. And to hear what you did to care for her is really extraordinary. And I just want to make a comment about you talking about choosing it. And one of the wisest things I ever heard is this idea, as far as like, I guess you could call it spiritual advice, is this idea that act as if whatever is happening to you, whatever your circumstances are, act as if you've chosen it.
Yeah.
Because what that does is it drops your resistance. And because there's only what is. There's only what is. And the more you can be open to what is, then I mean that's all we can do. So thank you. I really appreciated your talk tonight.
Thank you, Robert. You just dropped me straight in my heart. I was about to lose it with some tears there for a second. Just hearing her ripples, always so powerful. And thank you. I always tell myself, I'll never forget. I had a mentor call me out. You have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You either got to put both feet in or step out. And that's kind of what that made me think of. And so I try and do things with both feet in now.
Thank you. And say hi to Elijah for us.
I will. Yeah, I will. Absolutely.
Jess, did you want
Yes, are you putting your hand up?
Yeah, I was trying to
Yeah.
figure out how to mute myself or unmute myself, opposite of what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, so Jesse, like we've known each other for like such a long time, and hearing you speak again and also speak from a place of so much growth is just actually really amazing to see. Um, and so many things like, like you said, resonated with asking for help. You know me and asking for help. So like hearing that and having that resonate, and also just, like it's okay when you're not okay, is just, oh, everything's resonating. And I'll just say that. It was just amazing, and it just like came at the right time hearing you speak and just seeing you again, even if it's on camera. It was just really special. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you so much, Jess. I'm so grateful you're here. And a shout out to this girl, because I changed my whole life and I moved Olivia out of Santa Fe, her old place that she lived. I moved her stuff out, and Jess was a part of that journey of helping support me in getting there financially, and created like a little healing in between for us in Sedona. So many people have been a part of this journey, and I'm super grateful for you. So thank you.
And now might be a time for a plug. Listen, if y'all are ever in the Oakland Bay Area, and yeah, when we have a live service on Sundays, and we have a really good time, I think, at least I do, and we have other speakers too. So all of y'all here supporting Jessica, please feel free to come whenever you want. Yeah, any events we have or anything, y'all are welcome.
I also wanted to just say that this is one of the commitments in me reintegrating my life back to the things I was doing before her accident. And so thank you for being my first group of, speaking in a group again and getting to be in community. I put so many things on hold, and I knew the first place I wanted to be was Sunshine at OCSL. So I asked her if I could speak more regularly to start integrating some things back that I was doing before. So this was my first time speaking
Yay.
as I'm emerged. So, and emerging, I guess you could say. So thank you all for being a part of that, you know. Like I said, we're all just learning together. So
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful to have you.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Super grateful.
Uma, you.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to add something really quickly. I wasn't gonna be able to make it tonight, and last minute I was, and I'm so, so grateful because it's always so wonderful to hear you speak. I haven't seen you in a long time, and it's just you never cease to amaze me with your articulateness and your vulnerability. And I am no stranger to grief. So every time I see you, I'm just lifting you up in pure love and pure light.
Mm. Thank you, beauty. I love you so much. I know you are my deep reflection, so I'm so grateful you're here, and I'm always rooting for you.
Kimberly, go ahead.
I just want to thank Jesse for something that I don't know if anyone else really caught it in the very beginning. On the meditation, you literally said that every breath that we've ever taken, we've been loved. And I just want to know, not so much know, but for you, everybody watching, like, did you really sit with that? You know what I mean? Did you really sit with that? Because I had never heard it before. And I sat with that and I was like, wow. If I take anything away from this call, it will be that 1000%. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. That is so fitting because it was something that guided me through some of my darkest hours when I was caregiving. And when Olivia died, I actually twisted my back in 3 different places on the day she died. So I was also grieving and bedridden for 10 weeks, walking
Huh.
around with like a little walking stick.
Mm.
And that was something that was a really powerful reminder. Like, God loves me and the universe loves me. You know, there's someone out there right now that is loving me in every breath, like so purely and so true. And a lot of them were on this call. And it really was like this beacon of truth that I held in my heart. So I'm really grateful you brought that up. It was definitely my little light in the dark, for sure. And it's true.
See, before everyone got on, we were talking about the whole we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And it really kind of brings up that idea that we're sort of swimming through two different realities at once. And whatever is going on down here, you know, in the physical reality, there's that other thing going on, that we
Yeah.
are loved, that our breath is like there in every single moment to remind us. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never forget. My partner will laugh at this if I think he's still on the call, but I think I tried to break up with him like 20 times in the last year. And he's always like, you know how many times I've wanted to break up with you? None. But it was because I was just so hurt, you know, so my heart was so broken and scared to let love in, because I loved Olivia so deeply that I just was trying to do everything I thought that was keeping me safe, and I realized I had to get uncomfortable. And in order to heal, talk about the infinite possibility, is sometimes you have to get uncomfortable, um, to feel that love and to know that you're loved. So
Yeah.
yeah, thanks Timothy for sticking with me.
Reminds you that Ernest Holmes quote about there's that part in us that has never been hurt, harmed, or hindered. It's just always there.
Yeah, I'm always gonna come here and bring all my flaws and faults to the table. Sunshine knows how I work. I'm like, we're gonna look at all of it together. I don't know any other way to be. It's part of that's the human part. Like the human part is where we all get to be seen. And it's that moment where you're like, oh, I'm not alone. Like someone else is feeling what I'm feeling. And within that, there's healing. You know, when we just take a moment to connect with someone else who might be feeling the same, it's like we realize we're not as alone as we thought.
And if we're connected on that level, we're connected on levels that are deeper and deeper and deeper.
Oh, for sure. I mean, out of 8 billion people in the world, we're all on this call. Like, none of that's on accident to me. Everything is so incredibly on purpose.
Yeah.
Who else? I think you just blew them all away.
I'm just
They're
super
trying to
grateful.
figure out who they want to be and what they want to do.
I love that my paper also fell on the ground. Like, that was so great. I think it's when I like took a deep breath. I just like blew it off, you know? But, you know, I'm super grateful. It's like the story is from the heart anyways, right? It's like these are lived experiences.
Yeah.
But if anyone wants to read Limitless with me, I'm always into a book club. So I used to do book clubs with Olivia, and that's going to be my next book. So
Okay.
And we're at about that time.
yeah.
No one else has any burning question or comment? Okay, let's give Jesse some love for that was amazing. Yay. Where's that little heart thing? That's what we need. Little hearts floating up all over the place.
Yeah. I feel the love.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So we are going to transition to a little more intellectual place, talking about all the things that are coming up at OCSL. This coming Sunday, here's a treat. January 19th, Reverend D. Jacqueline Edwards is speaking on It Flows. Meditation starts at 10 a.m., followed by the service at 10:30. And then Wednesday, January 22nd, at our midweek oasis, join Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman for an encore performance of It Flows. The meditation is at 6:30 and the service is at 7. Our daily readers that we're reading together in 2025 are 365 Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, which everyone is really enjoying, I hear, and Daily Gratitude Reflections, Volume 2, 365 Inspirational Daily Guides to Grateful Living by Deborah Perdue. And that one is, I've been reading it, it's really beautiful. On January 20th, we celebrate the birth of Martin Luther King Jr., an American Baptist minister, activist, and political philosopher, who was one of the most prominent leaders in the civil rights movement from 1955 until his assassination in April 1968. King advanced the civil rights for people of color in the United States, and through the use of nonviolent resistance and nonviolent civil disobedience against the Jim Crow laws and other forms of legalized discrimination. You might want to watch the interfaith service and moral mass gathering called A Prophetic Response to America's Defining Moment. That will be Monday, January 20th, 4 p.m. Pacific on Martin Luther King Day, that Monday. Several of our CSL ministers will be participating in this interfaith service. Check the Village News this week for the link. And please support Oakland Center for Spiritual Living's 2025 annual pledge drive. Rising higher and growing deeper is the theme of that. Thanks to your ongoing support, OCSL continues to thrive. There's still time for you to make a pledge. It's actually never too late for you to make a pledge, but we'd like to get them in around this time of year. And that will give you the opportunity to engage in the law of circulation and opening to greater good as we give. Please join us in nurturing our spiritual home and letting the flow of good continue. Visit oaklandcsl.org and select the donate button on the home page. In my mind, this is also a chance to express gratitude for those people who don't mind working with numbers. All right. The 6th-session Women's Spiritual Empowerment Group continues with another gathering kicking off 2025 on Sunday, January 19th, after our service, so from 1 to 2 p.m. in the sanctuary. All are welcome to join this lively discussion. And then please join us for a special community town hall potluck, Sunday, January 26, 2025 at 1 p.m. Please bring a dish to share. We have important news to discuss, and we want to welcome everyone's ideas and input. There's also still time to sign up for the Oakland CSL Buddy Love program. This is a place where you could connect for connection, community, bonding, spiritual practice, and support. Find someone that you can meet with regularly for all of those things. Visit the Oakland CSL events, oaklandcsl.org webpage. Go to that website /events. That's where you'll find a place to register. We also need your help with the following sacred service opportunities. The coffee and tea team, the AV team, and the OS. I can't talk anymore. I'm not going to quit though. I'm going to keep trying. The coffee and tea team, the AV team, and the Oasis AV team all need help right now. So please contact Steve at oaklandcsl.org for more information. The Spirit Treasure Bookstore is celebrating the new year in January with a sale on musical instruments and all things that make a joyful noise. So please check it out. You can also visit csl.org to see what's happening within our Centers for Spiritual Living global organization. And then please visit the website at oaklandcsl.org to sign up for our weekly newsletter, The Village News. And please remember to like and follow and subscribe to OCSL on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And that's it for our announcements. Here is on our slides, you can see our team that works together. If there's anyone you need to contact for facilities, our bookkeeper, our senior minister, our administrative coordinator, they're all there right there, including our board of trustees. So I think we're moving into our gratitude time. And I need to get there on our screen so make sure I don't forget anything. All right, conscious giving time. Let's have a moment of silence for that. This is an important time in our community because it involves so much. It's an expression of gratitude when we give. It's part of our spiritual practice. It's a way to put our spiritual intentions into action. In giving, we celebrate our community, express gratitude for all the folks that keep it alive and thriving, who give their time and treasure. We also, by giving, acknowledge our place in that universal flow of abundance and put our own personal intentions for greater experiences of abundance into action. So in that spirit, please follow along as I read our giving affirmation. Joyously I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive. And so it is. And again, in that attitude of gratitude and appreciation, we'd like to express some appreciation for all those who have offered. Oh, I need to back up. I'm speeding through the donation thing too quickly. In order to give, please go to our website. There you'll see a donate button. When you click on that, there are myriad ways to give. Check, cash, Zelle, QR code, you name it. And that will make it as easy as possible for you to step into that flow. So in that same attitude of abundance, of gratitude. We'd like to show gratitude for all the people who somehow contributed in their own way to make this evening possible. Our speaker, Jessica Kreiss, gave such a heartfelt talk, even without her notes. And for also being our meditator and doing our opening prayer. Tonight's tech team, Peter Gum and Alice Herndon. And even though you can't see her, always in the background is the lead of our tech team, Peggy Cotton. Also in the background is our administrative coordinator, Steve Carter, who create all these great slides, among other things. So I also want to express appreciation for everyone who contributed to this evening by offering their presence. The fact that these, as I think Jessica said, the fact that these people were here tonight, it's not an accident. It created a certain atmosphere. The people who watch later are also still contributing in that magic of time and space. So we're very grateful to everyone who's here tonight or who shows up later. And now I would like to transition over to Jessica, who has volunteered to do our closing prayer.
Thank you so much. And so just taking this moment to close our eyes, to take this breath, this choosing of self. Just sitting in that stillness for this moment. And just take a moment to honor anything that came up for you during this time. Just knowing that that is held in the infinite divine. That we are human, but we are divine. We are divine. And so as I tap into that space of limitless possibility, I know that we are limitless. That the key is within us. It is within me and it is within you. And together, we have the ability to unlock anything. That is the space of infinite possibility. That as we sit with those questions, who do I want to be? What do I want to have? What do I want to give to this world? That we get to know with the fullness of our being that the only thing that stands in our own way is ourselves. So I just lift up any blocks and I ask them to be released with love and grace and kindness. I lift up that space of saying yes to ourselves in this moment. Saying yes to life, saying yes to love, to our humanness and our divinity, knowing that it is all working together. That we are here for that purpose, on purpose, loved in every breath. I lift up our beloved Kimberly, who is celebrating her birthday with us tonight, knowing that she is so held in this moment, so seen. And that same holding and seeing ripples out to every single person on this call. So I just ask the divine in fullness, knowing that it is coming true, for infinite possibility to continue to wash over our lives, that all the right doors open, all the right opportunities align. And so I feel excited for the blessings that the universe has in store for us. I feel blessed that this vibration is held up, that anything that wanted to be seen, held, felt, and witnessed is lifted up into this prayer. And maybe those that didn't get to speak but wanted to are still seen in that place. That there is this breath, this moment that I get to say, I see you and I believe in you and I'm here for you. So within that, I just rest in gratitude. Gratitude for this breath, gratitude to be living, gratitude to be alive, able-bodied, mind, soul, and spirit. What a gift that is. And so I set this free into the divine mind of God that only says, yes, beloved, yes. What you seek is already seeking you. And so it is.
Oh, it is. Thank you. That was wonderful. So thank you all for showing up tonight. Welcome to our service. Those who are sort of new, we're glad you were here tonight.
Hi, Alice. Hope you feel better.
Thanks to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rev Deb was here. Didn't give her a shout out.
I'm
Reverend
Yeah.
still here. I'm
She's
in the
okay.
background.
and Dr. Judith.
Yeah.
Deb.
Hey, Jess.
Thanks for being here.
Of
Thank you
course.
all for coming, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Love y'all. Bye
Have-
now.
Have a
Bye-bye.
wonderful rest of your week.
Good night.
Good night,
Night.
everybody. Bye.
Night.
Night.